All right, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we're looking at my 1997 Subaru Impreza, and if you haven't seen the previous videos on this car, I'd recommend checking them out, and I'll make sure to leave a link above. But anyways, what we're getting back to today is extended sway bar end links. Now before you ask me what that's all about, it's been a pretty frequent question that I've been getting asked about when people are lifting their Subarus. So imagine that you've gone through the process and you're super excited that you have now put either bigger struts, bigger spacer, or taller springs on your car, but now you've realized that you cannot connect the sway bars. And that's been a big issue with a lot of people been experiencing this. So basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys what extended sway bar end links look like, why they're so important for your car, and how you can remedy your car so that you can get all the handling characteristics that you used to have on your car. Now, without further ado, let me get the sway bar end links in the back, and then I can show you guys more into what I'm talking about. So before I show you the sway bar end links, I do want to give a quick explanation of what actually sway bars do on a car. So sway bars are intended to keep the front and rear suspension aligned so that when you're taking a corner, it has more stability and it doesn't sway from left to right, hence the name sway bars. And they're super important if you're going to be doing any high-speed cornering or even daily driving. You're going to see a huge difference in the way your car behaves. So that's why it's so important to have these connected to your car. So what I have here is the front and the rear sway bar end links. I'm going to refer to these as the drumstick, and I'm going to refer to this as the wing. Because this is the explanation that I got from Primitive Racing, and I thought it was pretty funny. But let's go into the front extended sway bar end links first. When you lift your car, basically what's happening is the amount of space in between where the sway bar connects here and where it connects to the lower control arm gets taller. So with this, you're going to see that you're not going to be able to connect this. So when you get extended sway bar end links, it's going to be taller in this height. And this is going to be super crucial, especially when you're putting this back on the car. Now, what I'll show you is what it looks like installed on the car, because currently behind me I have the car with the front sway bars actually still installed. So let's go take a look at that. And this should be pretty interesting. Since I'm not in the shop today, I don't really have a jack or anything of that sort, but I did want to crawl underneath and show you guys the front sway bars. I have this really dirty shop rag. I guess I'll just use this. It's not even big and it's covered in God knows what. I don't even know why I do this stuff. I think I need to go back to my day job. Okay, so here's the front of the car. And we're gonna go down here. So this is what it's gonna look like when it's installed. So as you can see right here, that is where the new sway bar end link is installed on the front. And this is the rest of the sway bar that goes across. And then this is where it gets mounted. And there's a bushing right here. And of course, in the sway bar end links, there are 2 bushings in there as well. It's not too bad of an install as long as you do it on the ground. It just takes a 12 and a 14. Make sure you have the washers in the correct spot. And then this is what it looks like on the other side. And apologize for how muddy it is under here, but I did just go off-roading pretty recently, so I did expect it to be pretty dirty. But this is what the sway bar end links looks like when it's connected. And as for the rears, this is a rear sway bar end link. As you can see, it's got this C shape instead of the straight vertical shape that you get from the front sway bars. And the reasoning behind that is mostly just in the design of the rear sway bars. I will say that getting to the rear sway bar end links is a lot easier than getting to the fronts. Piece of advice for anybody that's going to be tackling this, make sure that the car is on the ground. Now, if you make the mistake of jacking up the car and it's up in the air, it's going to lead to a lot of trouble for you. It's going to be a lot harder to connect the sway bars because it's all an unsprung and sprung weight. That's a whole nother conversation that we can leave for another day. But just know that if you're going to be doing this job, it's better to do it while it's on the ground. And I mean, isn't that the reason why you lifted your car? So you can just crawl underneath and you don't have to get a low profile jack like you would with a lowered car? But anyways, getting back to the point. So this is an original equipment that would come on a Subaru, so this would not work anymore. But after speaking with Kartboy, I actually got a prototype of a extended sway bar end link for the rears. Now, this is a pretty hard to come by part, especially for these older Subarus. You will definitely find this a lot more commonly on the newer models. You should be able to easily get something like this for your car. But in this case, this is something that is not really produced, since I think it's just such an old car. So it's pretty cool to have one of these. The only problem is they only gave me one. So I'm not really too sure what I'm supposed to do with one sway bar end link. And the only thing that I can really think of is just to show you guys. So in conclusion, this is what you need to do if you want to reconnect the sway bars on your Subaru. Now, if you wanted to run no sway bars in your car, I will say that that is okay if you're going to be using it in daily driving situations. But I think as a preventative measure, just for your overall safety, as well as the performance of your car, I'd highly recommend at least connecting the front sway bars. And that's what I actually did here. And before I actually did the install, I did drive the car for about 2 months with no sway bars. And I will say that it does make a world of a difference. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. And before we get back to the video, here's a word from one of our sponsors. And I want to give a huge shout out to Rachel and the marketing team over at Atoto. Atoto is basically a company that makes aftermarket radios. And currently in my car, I have the Atoto A6 installed in my 2000 Mazda Miata. And I got nothing but nice things to say about it. It's got so many features and capabilities that really takes it to the next level for the money. The huge thing with this is you can get a double din dash with a touch screen for less than 200 bucks. So with that, you get Bluetooth, micro SD slot, auxiliaries, USBs, GPS, Wi-Fi, YouTube, and the list goes on. And they cater towards cars that are made with Android Auto, but you can also use an iPhone. So currently I have an iPhone 7, and that's what I'm currently using to listen to music. So what I have linked down below is a link that will take you directly to the Atoto A6 like I have installed in my Miata. But anyways, let's get back to the video.